but when Body Bag, the EP happened,
Right.
Peep was like living with Ned
In
as we were
Echo Park.
making,
Right.
yeah, as we were making Body Bag,
because Ned
and that's
produced
why,
that song.
yeah, and apparently like, that's why like Goldie like did. I was like, Ned, like I want a feature on this, like we should do this. He's like, who are you thinking? And I was like, any of the homies, like whatever. And then I guess he asked Goldie or whatever, and Peep was like always singing that song. And so he was like,
wow.
Goldie did it. Like, I don't know, like, the exact dialogue.
Did you ever meet
then.
Peep?
Yeah. Peep, I was at, like, when Peep would come to Dallas, I was at the shows. And the last show that Peep he did near Dallas was in Fort Worth at Wrigley Theater or something theater in Fort Worth. And they were like, hey, come play Body Bag. And I was like, I'll catch you on the next one. I was like, I had my son that day.
Okay.
And then, like, everybody's like, just bring your son. Like,
Right.
Like, and let him watch you perform. But, like, he was a baby. And I was like, I'd have to get the big ears for him. And I didn't want to look like a piece of shit with my little baby. Like, and just like, wah. And he's always been super, like, I don't want to go places. So, like, I was like, we're just going to stay.
Right.
And then fucking... was it like I think it was like 2 dates later was when Pete passed.
Yeah, that's like I feel like that's whether it's part of the documentary. Again, I always get mixed up what's public, what's private. But it's like those Texas shows are when people were like, "Oh shit, this isn't going right."
Yeah,
I feel like that's probably in the documentary. Peep passing away definitely like those sort of things. Like, oh, I'll just see him next time or whatever. Like since that, I've definitely tried to live my life in a different way of like not doing that.
Yeah, because that was like, I think the last time I saw him before that was he played House of Blues, and I was just hanging out with like Wiggy and Horsehead. I had like one of my homegirls with me, and Skill played that show, and JP played that. JP Dream Thug, yeah,
crazy.
He played that show,
That's
which
rare.
is rare as fuck.
It's so rare.
Yeah.
But Ned has a story like that with Juice World, where Ned's like, I was at Shocker, and Juice World hit me up, like he called me and he wanted me to come to the studio, and I was like, oh, I'll just fucking record with him next time, and they had never recorded together, and then like they didn't connect. They never connected again. And I think maybe Juice WRLD, I'm getting this story wrong, but like Juice WRLD either blew up or whatever, and then he passed away, and they just never.
Juice. I have a story like that with Juice too. Like,
right.
Fucking,
you do have a story.
Me and Juice. So like Juice, like there was a point where he was only following me, Fatsy, and Scum.
This is the thing that kids will never.
They'll be like, what the fuck?
They'll like never understand that. Whether it's a brand or an artist, at one point they were small, and they had influences,
and they just had the right team, and they did the exact right moves at the right time.
But
they blew the fuck up.
If like
well deserved though,
if like you went on Twitter right now and be like, "Yo, I remember when I was the only one who followed," people were like, "Oh bullshit," but like there was a point when you had more clout than him, and you were already doing it for longer than him, and literally you and Fatsy. He like followed like 5 people, and if you go to his SoundCloud now, he still follows you, right?
I don't know. Somebody was like, "Yo, like I didn't even know who Juice WRLD was because," but he had already been making music. Like he already had like a bigger following than me.
Oh, okay.
And like, I guess this is like I don't know when it was, but somebody was like, "Yo, like Juice, like you, Fatsy, and Scum are the only people that Juice follows right now. Like, do you know him?" And I was like, "No, like." So I went and checked him out, and I was like, yo, this guy's so fucking good. I was like stoked on him. We didn't talk for a long while, and I forgot how the conversation started where we actually finally did talk. And we were just talking about doing music and all this shit and whatever. And then there was the last time that me and Juice talked. No, there's 2 times. I remember this one day I was just fucked off on like Roxy's and shit. And I wake up, and then like everybody's like, R.I.P. Juice, R.I.P. Juice. And I was like, what the fuck? So I'm like blowing up Juice on his phone, and I'm like, yo, are you good? Like, I didn't believe it. I didn't think it was real. And then everybody's like, yo, it's real. So then I like freaked out, and I was like, what the fuck? And we had already been friends and been talking like for a while. We would just like hit each other up. I remember when he called me, he was like, there's like some ex from a long time ago that he was in this like argument with, and I was like, yo, just calm down. He's at home. He's telling me all like how excited he was about his deal and all this shit, but then he was just like upset about other shit. And then I was like, yo, calm down. Everything will be fine. We're chill. And so like after all that of us being friends, like I see the RIP Juice thing, and I just kind of like lost it. Like, one, because I was just already fucked up,
right?
And then I was just like, dude, he's so talented, and it's like, what the fuck? And so then I find out it's a hoax, and he ends up calling me from me from a new number, and he's like, yo, I lost my phone at this event, or something happened to my phone. I forgot what it was. And he's like, everybody's all worried about me and shit like that. And I was like, I'm just glad you're fine. So then, like, when it actually happened...
You thought it was fake.
Oh, actually, so before it actually happened, he was, like, hanging out with someone I don't like.
This is actually such a funny story. Yeah. I think I was there for this.
This when we were in the studio at Lemon Tree, right, across from the Hive. I'm not going to say who we were in the studio with, but...
For a few... I don't even remember.
Yeah.
I was there a few times when you were like texting him or on like FaceTime with him. Yeah. I never really talked to him.
He FaceTimed me, and in the background, I see somebody that I don't recognize, and they're like, yo, what's up, Lotus? And I was like, yo, who is that? And it's like a terrible signal because we're in that studio at Lemon Tree. And then I'm like, yo, pull up. I'm doing a cover of Helena. And he's like, let me get on that. He's like, I want to be on that. Me and you doing a cover of Helena by MCR would be insane. I was like, pull up. He's like, why don't you pull up on me? Like, I'm with so-and-so. And I can't really hear what he's saying. And I was like, hold up, let me step outside and call you. And so then I call him again. But in the time that I'm walking out, I go to his story because I was like, I want to know who the fuck that was in the background. Because if it's who I think it is, I don't want to fucking pull up. So then, like, I see it, and then he answers the phone, and I was like, yo, like, why don't you just come over here, because I don't fuck with that fool. So he's like, let me call you back, and like hangs up.
And basically that person got super offended, and then Juice didn't pull up.
Yeah, well, he was just like, yo, like, come to this studio instead, like, later tonight. But like, we're texting all day, and he was talking to me like about how fucked up he was. Remember? Yeah.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah. The Lemon Tree now too.
Yeah.
God, dude.
There's two people that I shouldn't have been in that studio either.
That's so funny.
And so then I was like, we're just talking about like how much like we had been using, and I had just got sober, and he's like, yo, I want to stop like using. Like, how did you stop? And I was like talking to him about it, and because that's when I just stopped doing blues, and then
what are blues for people that don't know?
Roxy's, like,
which is what?
It's like Oxycontin, like aftermarket,
right?
Yeah, but it's like it's all pressies,
right? So and pressies are people like making pressed, like fake drugs.
I mean, the ones that I would get were definitely pressed as pills. Like,
you told me one time. You told me one time that you liked taking pressed pills.
Yeah. That's whenever, that was bad. Yeah, that was that bad time.
Yeah.